Behind me is one of the most important sites in Islamic history. This is the tomb of Christopher Columbus. But you might think, what does Christopher Columbus has to do with Islamic history? Let me explain. By the way, I'm posting content every single day without knowing how many followers I have. And if this account does not reach 50,000 followers by end of the challenge, my editor is going to delete the account. So consider to follow. But let's continue. So Christopher Columbus was a tradesman and he had a vision. He wanted to travel to India, but eventually he ended up in South America and enabled routes to Philippines and other parts of Southeast Asia. And he had another vision. He wanted to use these travel routes to enable trades, then to enable the Christians to conquer Jerusalem once again. And whilst his vision of the Crusade of Jerusalem never took place, eventually his achievements and the colonization that followed with it allowed the Crusade of Jerusalem to happen. Now, what does this have to do with Islamic history? Well, Christopher Columbus was an Italian tradesman, but he made his way to Spain because he knew he would find the right radical Catholic kings and queens in Spain to finance his routes, because they gave him every funding in the world under one condition: he needs to forcefully spread Catholicism in these areas. However, just a few decades ago, the same Spain, especially in Andalusia, was ruled by one of the most tolerant societies ever faced this earth, where Christians, Muslims and Jews lived together before they were forcefully expelled by the Christians through the Inconquista. So the lesson that we have here in Islamic history is, when we think about Andalusia and what the disunity of Muslims in Andalusia brought to us, was not only the fall of Spain and Andalusia itself, but actually the fall of South America, of the Philippines, of large parts of Southeast Asia, and decades afterwards, Jerusalem. And that is the price that Muslims pay, that once their egos take over, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in His ultimate wisdom, will bring these results forward, and is upon us to learn from this history in order to not repeat the same mistakes in our coming generations.